Hello, everyone. Welcome back to St. Vincent College Steelers Training Camp 2023, and welcome to the wrap-up show brought to you by the UPMC Health Plan. Mike Prisuta, along with Craig Wolfley, day 15 on campus and day 12 of practice in the books. And to help us put a bow on it, wide receiver Allen Robinson joining us down on the field here at St. Vincent. Allen, welcome to the show. Thanks for taking a few minutes. Had you with a really nice catch in 7 shots today, a little toe tap in the back of the end zone. Nice sideline grab on what looked like kind of an improv by Kenny Pickett, and then a cutback on Chandon Sullivan. I think that was pass under pressure. You got some nice yards after the catch. I know you guys love your yak. Are you starting to feel like you're doing the things out here that you expect yourself to do?
Yeah. I've been working to that. Just trying to get better each and every day since the start of camp. So I've just been trying to stack days, on top of each other, and I feel like I've been able to do that. Just taking it one day at a time.
Allen, what are the special characteristics of a slot receiver in your mind? What is kind of unique about a unique position?
I think being able to understand defense, being able to see leverage, getting a full picture of what the defense is trying to do, snap in and snap out. That's in the run game and in the pass game.
Allen, you talked to a few of us shortly after your arrival and said you were healthy but not back yet. You were still waiting to be yourself again. Are we starting to see that guy?
Yeah. Like I said before, I'm getting there. I've been taking it one day at a time, and I feel like each day has been getting better. Continuing to work through, some different things like that, in the offense and stuff like that. So I'm headed in the right direction, and I feel good about where I'm at.
Allen, you got a chance to commiserate with some of the other guys, and as we move along in camp here, how are you feeling about where you are in your just getting comfortable at training camp and with the other guys and with the quarterbacks?
I feel good. It feels good. I feel we have a very cohesive group. I feel like, play in and play out, we're communicating, we're talking, we're able to correct plays on the fly. We're not having to sit there and wait till after practice, and as things are coming back up and reoccurring, we're able to fix it on the fly.
Allen, you're also getting a lot of credit from your teammates for being that guy they can go to if they have a question or maybe an example to follow. In your mind, how big a deal is being that teammate and that leader at your position in terms of what the Steelers expect out of you and in terms of what you want to contribute? Nope. Looks like we lost connection to Allen Robinson. Are we back?
For being a mentor, again, this is the first time in my career that I've been one of the, if not the oldest guy in the room, so just being able to take whatever knowledge, I can pass on to some of our younger receivers, again, that's on the field and off the field. That's play in and play out based on different leverages, based on different coverages, and many different things like that, and just try to take my experience and just try to, spread it among the group.
Allen, really appreciate the time. Thanks for joining us, and we'll talk to you again soon.
Thank you, Allen.
It's wide receiver Allen Robinson down on the field. Well, if he's showed up pretty consistently every day out here. But one of the things he mentioned when he first got here, I had a chance to ask him how he's managed to last for 10 years because a lot of guys don't make it that long. And he said every day's a work day. Every task is important. And he just, as he mentioned to us, stacking days and keeping that consistency. Imagine that gets that can be a testing experience year after year after year, particularly in a practice setting such as this.
There's no question, Mike. And what we see is a young man who has learned how to take care of himself both on and off the field. Because part and parcel of being able to work every day is taking care of your body every day. That means the prehab, that means the rehab. The things that you do before practice to prepare your body, the things you do after practice to help heal your body, because no matter how light the practice is, you generally got something going on through the years. You develop some certain idiosyncrasies in your body. You got to take care of them things. You got sore knees, you got to ice the knees. You got sore shoulders. Make sure you're doing it. Get stim, get whatever you need to get to be able to make sure that you can work in a comparable condition each and every day, because it's about where you go moving forward. And one of the things he's done, he's hit the ground running. This is a young man who is still fully capable. He's double-digit years, if I'm not mistaken.
This is 10. Yeah.
Okay, so this is 10 years, and he looks remarkably fit, and it looks like, there's not too many dents in the bumper.
Really nice catch you made to start things off in 7 shots today. Mike Tomlin speaking late this morning, 11:30 or so, here on campus, and looking ahead to the preseason opener on Friday night in Tampa against the Buccaneers. Mike Tomlin said that everybody who's available will play. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that they'll play a lot. That'll be a case-by-case basis, I'm sure. But based on what we saw today, Wolf, no Trey Norwood, safety, or John Lovett, running back, and they were not in helmets and pads today. A couple of other guys were, safety DeMonte KZ and safety Keanu Neal, but I didn't see either one of those guys drill. They were observers rather than participants. And early in the workout, Joey Porter Jr., the rookie cornerback from Penn State, he was spotted almost immediately after the practice began with both of his hamstrings wrapped in ice, and he had traded his helmet for one of those floppy hats that they wear. So I don't know if Mike Tomlin will be able to update Porter's potential availability.
That's the blow that
or
it's
not,
gonna hurt.
but
that's the one that you want to see step into a stadium, as Mike Tomlin talks about, and get that experience and be able to see what it's like under the big lights with the big-time communicators to your left, to your right, in the huddle, being able to communicate across the secondary and carry out the responsibilities necessary. And I really think that, boy, I'd sure hate for him to miss, because now, again, you only got 3 games. So if you miss this game, you're down to a couple. And this is a young man who there are a lot of hopes riding on him being able to handle a good amount of work reps at the cornerback.
A couple other developments from practice today, Wolf. Quan Alexander, an inside linebacker, wasn't necessarily starting, but he was in there quickly with the ones. Almost, if not all of the drills, he would come in after a rep or a couple reps and get some significant run with the first teamers.
There's no doubt about it. The inside linebacker position is going to be one of the interesting position battles that we're going to see for over a period of time. Think about it. I mean, you got Cole Holcomb. You got Landon Roberts, and you got Quan Alexander. But you also got Mark Robinson that you want to see him come along. Nick Kwiatkowski has done some good things as well. So certainly what you want to do is be able to parcel out some reps there. And Quan Alexander, let's face it, he's late to the dance. They signed him in camp. They brought him in. And now he's getting to show some things and be able to get ramped up with his defense. But the fact of the matter is he's still, probably a little bit behind. Not, knowledge-wise, I'm sure he's fine, but it's
not his first rodeo.
Yeah, thank you.
First one here.
One of the most significant things you've ever said, Michael.
That goes back to the Super Bowl in Dallas. That's another story for another day. The way that was working was Alexander would replace a Landon Roberts. And then later on we saw him get some run in the dime. Mark Robinson got a little look as the lone linebacker in the 6 defensive backs dime defense with no Joey Porter Jr. That one of the dime cornerback spots was handled by James Pierre, number 42, who is a guy who has had his moments here, and he's had some tough times here, and maybe a player who's still evolving.
There's no question he still has an opportunity to evolve in the direction that he wants to go. He has shown some life in the previous couple of years. There are some tough times. Let's face it, every corner runs into some problems. You have you're on the edge. You play life on the edge as an NFL corner. So he's been beaten some, but you know what? He takes his lumps. He comes back. He works hard. And I think that he's one of those guys that can shake things off.
A lot of Connor Hayward, here a Hayward, there a Hayward, everywhere a Hayward today. Fullback. I saw him line up as the lone back one time and actually get a carry on a draw.
Yeah.
He's playing the tight end, the move tight end stuff. Versatility. We were kind of wondering coming into camp, at least I was, what Connor Hayward would do, what his specific role would be. I think it's going to be a little of this and a little of that.
It's ever expanding, apparently, is the way it seems to be working out. As we watch him evolve through everything from the running back to the H-back, the move tight end. We've even seen him line up as an inline tight end. The fact of the matter is, whatever this guy does, he has a unique, nuanced characteristic about him. He gets open and he catches the ball. One of the things I've heard from some of the people, the scouts, and that they talk about how good his hands are. He's got really good hands and ranks up there with some of the best hands on the team.
Last but not least, Mike Tomlin is stressing compete out here. Don't take days off. Don't ease into Monday. Don't slack off on Friday if there's an off day the next day. Don't ease into anything. Get the work done when you're supposed to get it done and compete. And a couple of things that got my attention today. The early 7-on-7, Najee Harris made a catch out of the backfield, just a little short crosser with Cole Holcomb, the inside linebacker, all over him. And it was a combat catch, and he went to the ground, and there was some doubt as to whether he had the ball or not. And he popped up, and he's going like this, the universal signal for I caught that. And then in the last 7-on-7, Gunnar Olszewski and Chappelle Russell, number 49, they really battled. The contested catch doesn't do this justice. They were wrestling for the ball. They stumbled to the ground. They were wrestling on the ground, and the offensive players are yelling catch. The defensive players are yelling fumble. This is the second period of the second to last period, near the end of the day, and Olszewski ends up ripping the ball out finally after what seemed like about 4 or 5 minutes. Probably one of the reasons why Mike Tomlin referenced him today as football player first, Wolf, receiver second.
No doubt about it. He's, the Gunner is one of those guys that battles. And I remember him making the statement, look, last year they gave me the role of punt returner, and I didn't compete for it. I'm competing. He says, I got a chip on my shoulder this year. And I think that chip extends to what he does on the practice field, no doubt about it. And I'll give you one more. I told you about this. We're watching 7 shots. One of the great aspects about having a guy like Minkah Fitzpatrick, who was on this show yesterday and talked about the communication factor. I'm down there on the sidelines, and he's moved up into the box. He's got Mark Robinson to his left. He's got Levi Wallace in press on his right, and he yells at both of them, do you both know what you're doing? And they both look at him and go, yeah. And he goes, well, tell each other, And you're like, you got a guy back there that's directing traffic. That's good stuff. That's the way it should be done.
Yeah, I think communication is the second C word behind compete. Or maybe they're on the same line, but you're hearing that stressed a lot on defense.
If you're going to compete, you better communicate. If you're going to communicate, you better compete.
That'll do it for today. I want to thank everybody for finding us, however and wherever you found us. The Steelers will be heading to Tampa tomorrow. The preseason opener is on Friday night, and then we'll be back here at St. Vincent College on Sunday. Until then, for Craig Wolfley, I'm Mike Prisuta. This has been the Wrap-Up Show brought to you by the PMC Health Plan.